So thank you everybody for joining in. I'm already seeing a lot of participants and they are just adding up one by one by one. So it's quite a big list of participants already. We are going to cover a very interesting topic, and I'm very glad that Jewelry Outlook, David and Jayanbhai and all the team put together has given this opportunity to talk about a very, very important topic, a very pertinent topic. So, so thank you, Jewelry Outlook team, for this wonderful opportunity for all of us together, including the participants, to really, talk about this this very, very important point. I will straight away take you I hope everybody can see my screen, guys. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, there was a bit of a glitch there. All right, guys. So the topic today is demystifying diamond pricing. So you know what, when the moment we think about diamond pricing, what are the first thing that comes in our mind? And I'm sure everybody here in this panel, in the seminar today, in this webinar, will clearly think of a few things immediately. And the first thing that comes in our mind is, 35 back, 40 back, 32 back. So technically, especially being in the trade, this is basically the language or the thought process that comes immediately. So today, I want to go beyond these things. We have been doing every day. We have been trying to fight on the price, to understand the price of diamonds on a daily level, but very much within the trade. I think we need to have a more holistic approach. So before we get into that, I think one of the important things that we all want to know, and especially the current situation with all the COVID-19 and everything, I think most of you and even I would like to know what would happen post this unprecedented times. To be very honest, you probably have a lot of questions like you, even I have these questions, even I am concerned. And honestly, like you, even I am confused. I don't know. So I don't have a crystal ball. I have not seen the future. So nobody knows what's really going to be the situation post things open up after the lockdown. I think my guess is as good as yours, and I can see that maybe once we open up, and I hope that the whole, all the countries around the world also open up generally around the same time period. I hope that none of the major countries take a long time or stretch too long to open up. But assuming things open up generally around the same time, maybe it could be 15 days from now, a month from now, we don't know. But it seems by the way things are, it seems that maybe there are signs that people are trying to push themselves to open up. Assuming things open up, I think there should be one knee-jerk reaction on the pricing of diamonds, which I think is quite, we can't assume that, we can't expect that. Everybody is expecting that. So there could be a possibility of knee-jerk reaction. The prices may suddenly fall at a point of time, but it's my understanding that over a period of time, things might pick up, hopefully. So, the markets around the world will also start, start contributing, and it will pick up. We don't know when. Could be 2 months from now, 3 months from now, but this is not a permanent situation, and it will some point of time pick up. But until then, we all have to, go through a lot of pain. And honestly, there is no answers that how much will be the dip, how much the price will go down. It's all a wild guess. But for sure, there will be liquidity issues. I mean, we all have to pay our bills, the salaries, the rents, the finance cost, and I think liquidating the stock to get to some kind of cash flow situation will be the need of the day for the trade, for most of the people in the industry, especially for the manufacturing side of the diamonds, the cutting and polishing the people in the diamond, the fraternity, and even otherwise, even retailers. So I hope that we get out of that situation as soon as possible and we get back from there. So I would like to focus more on something that is more long-term and not a very short-term perspective. So let me take you through a perspective of diamond pricing and with a holistic view. So here's here's what we are going to cover today. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. It's very simple. So we are going to talk about diamond pricing with three different perspectives. So the first one is the fundamentals. Let's understand diamond pricing in the fundamentals rather than thinking too much about, is it 32 back or 33 back? That's our daily life. I mean, that's the trade that we live in. But if we have a more out of the box approach, I think we can understand the pricing much better. So it's the fundamentals. The most important thing, the challenges. What are the challenges we are going to face? And what are the initiatives needed to really face these challenges? How do we face these challenges? So let's deep dive into the fundamentals of diamond pricing. So I will just take you through the few important points that really govern the diamond pricing. To start with, basically, see, this is a very interesting point. Diamond pricing is purely governed by basic economics of actual demand and actual supply. This is a huge statement, and many times while we are every day in our businesses, we principally forget this. So it's the overall demand and supply that actually governs the prices, which is not the case in most of the other products. So, when you see that, you will understand what I'm trying to say. So, other products like gold and silver, they're highly influenced by even other markets, like especially the financial markets. And they're also highly influenced by non-physical transactions. And honestly, the truth is that sometimes the non-physical transactions and the financial markets, govern the price much more. They are much more influential than the actual demand or the actual supply. The usable demand and the physical supply is just, it just mellows down. The effect mellows down compared to the effect of what the financial markets would have on the prices of so many other products. So probably the gold or silver or so many other products, like even oil or so many other products, the transactions that happens on the bourses, on the exchanges, financial exchanges, would be much higher than the physical exchange of goods. What happens because of this is the governing force doesn't remain in the hands of people like you and me. So it's very important for all of us to understand that this is very crucial, and that actually gives our industry a little bit of a cushion or a scope where we don't get into an extreme speculation. So that within the trade, there could be some speculation. Maybe somebody is pulling down some goods aside, or trying to build up pricing on something. It's still compared to the financial market, the effect could be not as much as what we can see in the open markets. So demand and supply is very important, and over a period of time we have seen that so you can see the red bars are the supply of rough diamonds, and the blue bars are the demand for diamond jewelry. Now it's substantially large because that's the margins, which is also a good sign, and that's a lot of people within the chain. So the point is that while it looks that the demand is going to keep going up, the supply may not keep going up. It's that the mining is not looking like huge quantities are going to come out over the years, in the coming years. So the gap between demand and supply is going to widen. Demand is going to be there, but supply may not be there for natural rough diamond, for natural mine diamonds. I want to take you through one interesting aspect. So diamond pricing is again, very different from so many other products like gold, because see, gold is a very close product and we often compare it with, often compare our diamonds with gold. So here, you know, the replacement value is very important governing force for the diamond pricing. In fact, gold and diamond are governed by replacement cost, whereas so many other consumable products would be governed by a cost plus model. What it means is, so here we go, like, you know, cars and watches and perfumes, they're all basically cost plus model. Whereas diamond, gold, you know, all these other products like oil and stuff, they are all replacement cost model. So the price is determined with the replacement cost plus profit. So if I know that today I want to buy a diamond at $10,000, the same quality, then I will put up my price as $10,000 plus whatever profit I want to make. If the $10,000 goes down, the market price goes down to $8,000, I will have to charge the profit on $8,000 and not on, yeah, I cannot still continue selling it at $10,000 because I can't sell it. The market price has already gone down. And if it goes up, even though my cost could be very low, but I would still sell it at a higher price. I could probably try, 2%, here and there, but principally the mechanism is on the replacement cost. Whereas in case of these consumable products, that's not important. So, there is nothing like replacement cost. So the idea is that it builds up, the cost is built up. So it's raw material plus manufacturing cost plus all the other costs put together, and then you charge the profit. So there is a huge lot of difference when we talk about diamond pricing. Now, here's another important aspect that we should all think of. So what are the factors that the consumers think of at the time of buying diamond jewelry? And it's interesting to note that basically the consumers think of a balance between art, emotions, and the asset value. So it's a very interesting part, because whenever a consumer is about to buy diamond jewelry, in his mind there are different thoughts. So the art is the beauty, is the design element. Emotions is relationships. I want to propose to my girlfriend, or give to my wife on my 10th anniversary or 25th anniversary. That's all emotional connect. And the asset value is principally, I am also looking at a store of value. When I have these three things in my mind, and when according to the circumstances and according to my need, I change my value system, and based on that, I buy the jewelry that I want to buy. So technically, most of the designer wear really goes into the art side of things, but most of the solitaire jewelry goes towards more like emotions and asset. Although there is a combination of all the three in each of the jewelry, but this is where the values really click on. So and especially more so when it comes to natural diamonds. So I mean, we have been talking a lot about lab-grown diamonds at times. So lab-grown diamonds is a perfect product for especially art, because you only worry about the design element at that time. So according to that, the consumer choices will change and the consumer buying patterns will change. My strong belief is that in case of solitaire diamond jewelry, there's a lot of emotional connect and asset value that goes into the decision making of buying jewelry. And this, interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, it's across the world. Every part of the world you will see this happening across. Now, I want to take you through some fundamental basics, because we have been many times arguing and debating that does diamond even have an asset value? And sometimes so people want that. There's so many debates that keeps happening. But you know what? We cannot take away this from the diamond. Whether you are in America, in Australia, in India, wherever you go, there is a store of value in diamond, and we have to understand that. And the reason is that if any product which is precious as well as eternal will always have a store of value. And in case of diamonds, that is exactly what a diamond is. And you know what? It's important to understand that this particular value is mainly for the natural diamonds. So it's so important that we understand this point, that the store of value, because the natural diamonds are rare, they are precious. There is only enough quantity and not more that can actually that God has offered, and so there will always be an asset value. So I want to also, make you take you through one interesting aspect again. So, there is a consumption value, there is an asset value, and there is a mix of consumption value and asset value. Now, the interesting thing is, while all the other products, there are, almost all the other products would either have a consumption value or an asset value, diamond probably is one of the only few products, along with your own home, which has a consumption value as well as an asset value. Now, to think about it, it's a very different thought process, and this will instigate a lot of thoughts. All your gold or your financial assets are mostly lying in your safes. You're not using them. Probably diamonds and home are the only two things that you use them. And I've seen so many people who would have their diamond ring on them for all their life, maybe for years. They would not have even taken them off. Whereas, none of your other financial products probably are to that level, and or even gold or anything. Whereas on the other hand, the cars and the liquors and everything else that you consume, they are just consumption. So it's a very interesting point to note that and this is one thing. If you are able to communicate this to your customer, the diamond jewelry is a very, very interesting piece of piece of consumer product. And if the consumer can really, if you can pitch it to your consumer in this way, I think it changes the complete perspective of everything. Now, just quickly on the history of diamond consumption, I want to just quickly take you through one interesting factor here. So early days, I'm just taking you through a time horizon. So, early days when diamonds was just started getting patronized in Europe. In fact, before that, let me tell you, India was the first country to actually discover diamonds, and that's 4 centuries back. It's huge. And recently in Europe, we just since 1400. We have seen that Europe has started patronizing diamonds, but it was still within the royals and the elites. So from 1870 onwards, 1850, 1870 onwards, the diamonds started getting consumed with the royals and the elites as well. That was the time when the first diamond mining company actually started. Also, the Kimberley mine in South Africa started. Then DBO started marketing diamonds around this 1940s. In fact, there is a very interesting thing to note. Around the same, around 100 years back, exactly around 100 years back, the prices of diamond really dropped by 50%. And this is very interesting, and you'll see it in Google as well. The prices of diamond actually dropped by 50% in exactly 100 years back. And you know what happened with that? That led to a wide-scale consumption of diamond. And that's when the diamond started being used commercially within the public, and the upper class and the rich people started using diamonds. We saw the evolution. The interesting thing, one of the major things, especially for the pricing of diamonds, Rappaport started publishing their price list in 1978, and the consumption further increased. So there was evolution of trading platforms, like there are so many, like RepNet and IDEX and so many others. And there was the online selling started. And especially to make a note, there was emergence of diamond brands in 2010. So 2010 was the time when, until now there were no brands in diamonds. They were all generic diamonds. Even today, most of all the diamonds are still generic. There are only a few brands. So the commodity exchanges started. But the interesting fact was that a lot of consumers started using diamonds. And that becomes extremely, extremely interesting, because when the consumers, wide range of consumers start using diamonds, it's quite an interesting thing then. Right. All right. We now move on to challenges. So we have covered the fundamentals. Now we are moving to challenges, because what are the real challenges that we are facing? Now I've divided the challenges in diamond pricing into two parts: consumers and trade. Let's take the consumers first, because they are the most important ones. Without them, we don't exist. So you know what? Consumers have a lot of issues even today. And believe me, the consumers of other industries do not have these kind of issues. But especially with the diamonds, they still are completely confused and very complex. They are not happy. They are not comfortable. So the first problem is ambiguity in the quality of diamonds. They don't understand the quality. They don't know what's going on. Every guy has its own version of quality. It's too difficult. And many times I've seen consumers not even buying a diamond just because the quality is confusing. The important problem is the transparency. There is no transparency in the pricing at the time of purchase. And I've seen people at the shops would take a calculator, do a calculation, and tell the price to a consumer. If I was a consumer, I would feel that this price is being made up for me. There is no standardization. There is no transparency. How I walk into the shop, how my relations are with the shop, it just changes from time to time, person to person. There is no clarity. The problem is that most of the consumers also consider diamond as an asset, and they want to continue knowing what is the current price of their assets, like you have it in gold. And this, by the way, again, even Americans or even Europeans still want to wonder about, because of many purposes. It's just not the asset, but it's also the insurance and so many other reasons that they want to continuously know the prices of their diamonds, and there is no mechanism, unfortunately. So as I had explained earlier, it still is an asset, and it's important that we as an industry also respect that. So the problem is that diamonds are not easily resellable, and there is no way you can get to know what is the genuinely right price. Be a consumer and think about it. So in all, yeah, and that's another thing. So there is no access. There is no access to where to go at the time of even understanding the prices, or how do the consumers deal with that situation. So the consumers, in short, all put together, are quite confused, and that's one of the reasons we have not been able to increase the market share of diamonds as a product. Now here's a very classic example. This is a retail website, e-commerce website, and you will see that there are 5 diamonds listed here, and they are all the same specifications, same laboratory has graded them, and they're coming from the same seller, because they're the same. That's one portal. That's the same portal. The interesting thing is the difference in the price is 44%, ladies and gentlemen. Now 44% difference in the price in just 5 diamonds. How would a consumer look at this? No difference in the specs. Consumers get even more lost, and that's where they lose the charm of really buying diamonds. And you know what? It's not just the consumers, it's even the trade. We within the trade are also succumb to a lot of issues when it comes to pricing diamonds. So the first and foremost within the diamond industry, our biggest issue currently that we all are tackling is dead stock, over inventory, and that's pretty much everybody will agree to that. There is a lot of buyback issues, liquidity. In gold it's so easy. People set it off by the end of the day. But in case of diamonds, I know, the shopkeepers, because they are the people who face the consumers. And the shopkeepers would completely, get shivers when consumers want to come back with a very expensive diamond, and they don't know what to price it and where to sell it once they buy it. So that's the issues. Even sourcing goods at the right time, at the right price is also a problem. When you are sitting somewhere in a part of the world, in a corner of the world, and you are buying it from some vendor, maybe in Mumbai, and you end up buying a diamond which the quality, the price is not the right price or the right quality, and and that's always trouble. The biggest issue that our trade is facing is very low profitability. There is not enough margins for all the channels, and especially the intermediary. So that's a huge thing. That's a huge problem. We have not been able to increase our market share. It's actually, people are thinking that maybe the market share is going down. Actually, some people are even estimating that diamond jewelry consumption is stable or may even go down, which I don't think so. But yeah, at least we are not growing as an industry. The consumption of diamond jewelry is not really growing. There's a lot of internal competition. I mean, we are fighting every day, every hour, every minute, and trying to beat each other out. Well, that's capitalism. That's what people have to do, and that's fine. But what the problem is, there are too many players everywhere. Retail, cutting and polishing, brokers, traders, everywhere. And it's as if this is not enough. We are facing tremendous competition from outside world. This has taken a lot of share. So while mobile phones and vacations have actually grown their market share by leaps and bounds. I mean, vacation is not a new industry. It's been there for years. But while they have grown their market shares, our industry haven't. So people think that, and that's true, that they have taken a share of our industry. We have to get it back. I'll take you through a classic example that we all face every day. This is our problem. When we talk with our customer, whether it's a cutter polisher talking to the retailer, or a retailer talking to the customer, to the consumer, it's a similar problem, and I will tell you what the problem is. So here's two diamonds identical to each other, having exactly similar certificates, same weight, same color clarity, everything. It's exactly identical, very similar to each other. The problem is, and you see there is one A and the other is B. As a matter of fact, if you see the plotting, the B has more inclusions, flaws than the A. But the fact is, the problem is that A is priced 3,200, whereas the other guy, the B is priced as 5,200. Now, why is that? You can see the picture of the diamond, and these are actual pictures taken of real diamonds, and these are the real prices of these two diamonds. The one on the left, the A, there is no fire, there is no luster, but that doesn't get captured on the certificate. Not that the laboratory is doing anything wrong, but it's just that laboratory is not mandated to mention the luster of the diamond. And that's pretty much similar to any other laboratory. So I will give you an analogy. You take your blood sample and go to a path lab, pathological laboratory, which also is a laboratory. You get your basic blood report, and you get maybe a few things, your blood count, your hemoglobin, your few things, but you may not know whether you have cancer, because your basic blood report is not intended to show cancer. Not that the laboratory is wrong, but it's a basic blood report. Similarly, this is a basic diamond report. And so there are things that might not get covered in the diamond report. So similarly, even trade may find similar issues. So you can see here that, I'm pulled up a screen of, a classic, most used trade screen of a platform, is RapNet. And, we have typed exactly the same combination. So all the diamonds are 2 characters. They're all the same clarity, color. Everything is exactly the same. And, that's the, so you will see the first diamond is priced at 6,489, whereas the last diamond on the same uh, page is priced at 8,964. It's a huge difference between the two. It's 38% difference. So within the same list, and there are more pages. Now it's all the same on the specifications, but such a big difference in the price. It's actually, and that's the truth. And you know what? Even the diamond at $6,500 is selling, and the diamond at $9,000 is also selling. So point is that with all the certificates and everything, the fact is that how much is the specifications really helping us? Is something that the certificate is really helping us. It's something that we really need to question. Not that certificates are not important. It's an incredible job that laboratories have done. Even the platforms like the pricing system given by Rappaport or IDEX or so many other people have done. It's a great job done by them. But I think industry players have to do their own share of job to further give the consumer satisfaction and build something for their own. Otherwise, we are just one among this list, and will not be different at all. So I want to take you through a simple calculation of how the prices gets calculated. There are a few people raising hands. I just want to quickly check how do we, because I. Okay, so we'll come to that. Right, I would suggest, guys, if you really, there is things that you want to talk or ask, please put it in your question answers and chats. I think that would be a much easier way to do. I hope that's working, and that should be fine. The question answer and the chat is open, so that should, you can please put your points on your question answer, especially. Right, so, a typical calculation that happens when we actually normally within the trade want to check the price of a diamond. It's, let's say we want to take an example of 54 GVS1. We take, especially we use the rep list, which is most commonly used. Let's say we take 3,700, we discount it by 32 back, which is again up to the whims of people, and it differs from person to person to person. I may think it is a 36 back, you may think it's a 31 back. So there is no standardization. We all have our own viewpoint on that. Ultimately, you achieve a price per carat, and then you multiply by the weight of the diamond, and you convert it into local currency. That's when you actually get the price of that particular diamond in the local currency. So it's not like you pick up the list and you suddenly know the price. It's not as simple as that. Which is very important to note, because we all feel that with a Rappaport price list or any other kind of price list, life is now very simple for us. But it's not at all. There were days, in fact, in the past, in early days, when we can put up a Rappaport price list on the table and tell that the entire inventory is a certain percentage off, and it holds true for any diamond. Today, every diamond has its own different back or own different off ramp. So very difficult to actually understand the price that way. See, that's exactly what I was telling you. Now, if you see this, that's a trade screen. What I want to show you here is, have a look at this area, 80 pointers, and you see F and G color, VVS1. You'll see one one area is 23 back or 4, and the other immediately other thing is 30 back. So there is a huge difference, and this is the problem. It's not like everything is close by. Just in the next box, you see that it's very close, and you see that's another problem. Now that's getting more complex. Now you see here that with the higher color being cheaper than the lower color, and that's really the actual fact. These are the list that we have in the report in RepNet, and this is how people are trading their diamonds. And to make things even more complex, you see here on one side in INJ, the SI1 is reversed to SI2. So how do you know what is the right back for your combination? You have to have a whole list of backs with you, or you have to go and check a live trade screen to actually know what is the right back. So my point is that while these price lists, wherever it comes from, are great too, but we have to understand that things have moved beyond. We cannot just depend on that price list. So I want to ask you guys one thing, and I believe this is one common myth that we all have, and we keep talking within the industry. Since every diamond is different in quality, therefore the price will be different for every diamond. Well, you know what? That's true, but that's true only at the point of trade, at the trade level. But you know what? There are industries around the world who are in a similar situation. They also deal in natural products, but you know what they have done is they have done much more than what our industry has done. They have been able to walk that extra mile, and they have been able to position or standardize their products so that the consumers get a better experience, so that there is less consumer confusion and much more excitement for the consumer. So here are a few examples. You will see teas and coffees and caviars and water, even simple product like water. It's also a natural product, tea and coffee, and they're all similar to diamonds. We have exactly the same issues, but still the brands the industry players have taken that extra step to provide a consumer experience, which in our case, in our industry, is completely missing. And I think, guys, that's a huge opportunity. So my point here, as I said, industry players need to really take much more initiatives to build this consumer confidence. And we all have to do something on our own to find our own solutions. So I will just quickly take you through what we have done as Divine Solitaires to fight this challenge. In fact, convert this into a wonderful opportunity. And I will just, quickly take you through the approach of Divine Solitaires. So we have gone for a three-prong approach. It's very simple. So the first point is every diamond is guaranteed best quality. That's our first thing. Every diamond so we have built up a transparent pricing system, and most interestingly, a very enhanced consumer experience. These are the three things that we have done as our bet within the industry to give that confidence to the consumers for diamonds. Because for our industry, for the diamond industry, we need to build this confidence in the consumer's mind, and we all have to work for that. And this is the efforts that Divine Solitaires have made in the same direction. I'll just take you through that. So what we have done, so the first thing is the guaranteed best quality diamond. What I mean by that is that every diamond comes with a guarantee, and you will see that it's first on the craftsmanship. So each and every diamond in Divine Solitaires is Hudson Arrows. It's of course XXX, and it's ultimate light performance. So the combination of all these three, it's an extremely difficult combination, but it is guaranteed for each and every diamond of Divine Solitaires. Now, this is what we call as quality standardization and guarantee. So what happens is most of the laboratories, and I've just briefly mentioned that in the past. So the laboratories do their job, and their job is to analyze. So they only analyze, and that too, most of the labs check 40 parameters. Like the cancer example that I gave you, the pathological laboratory, which in case of the pathological laboratory, the basic blood report will not check cancer. Similarly, the basic diamond report may not check so many other things. So what we have done is we have gone deep into that, and we have come up with a list of 123 parameters which influences the price of a diamond. Yes, sir. Yes, guys, there are 123 parameters that influences the price of a diamond. And as Divine Solitaires, we go through each of that parameter, not just to analyze it, but to check whether they are nothing less than 10 on 10. So each parameter would individually get checked. If it's 10 on 10, 10 on 10, 10 on 10, 10 on 10, 123 times, it passes as divine. If it fails on even one parameter, it's rejected. So in short, the consumer gets 100% guaranteed diamond. It's not just an analysis report. It's not just checked on 40 parameters. It's exhaustively checked and guaranteed. This is similar to what happens when you buy a car. You might be paying 70 lakhs for a Mercedes car, or in dollars maybe $100,000 to buy a Mercedes car, and you know that a lot of money is going into the engine, but you won't open the bonnet of the car to check that what is the diameter of the hose pipe, what is the radiator, what is this, what is that. You don't check the nuts and bolts of the car. You enjoy the drive. And why do you do that? Because you know that the brand is giving you that guarantee, that confidence. So that's very, very important and interesting. Sorry. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is our pricing system. And this is the first ever pricing mechanism globally. So it's very interesting because Divine Solitaires has developed its first of its kind retail pricing system. It's a uniform price across the country. So every country would have its own price list. UK has its own price list, Australia has its own price list, America has its own price list, and so does India have its own price list. It's all in local currency. There is no multiplication and division and back and forth and all that. It doesn't happen. It's straight. This is the price. So if it says $10,000 for that quality and that size, it's $10,000 across the country as a retail consumer price, and that covers the entire channels of the entire trade. So it's a very interesting perspective because it gives a very different level of transparency and standardization that the consumer really wants to see, because then he doesn't have to worry about calculating prices of each diamond, which is so complex, as we have already seen. And the thing is that we update this price list on the first of every month, and we bring it to the market. We market to the market every month. So we see everything that influences the prices of the diamond on the wholesale level, on the retail level. We do the conversion in the exchange rate. So the local currency ultimately comes in effect, and that's when we issue the price list. So this is how the pricing mechanism works. Just quickly, and this is available on your mobiles and the website. So you can log on to you can visit divinesolitaires.com and experience that, as well as you can actually download our application, and on the mobile you can actually see that anytime you want. It's a very easy tool for checking the prices, and these are, again I'm repeating, these are consumer prices, not trade prices. So here we go. So this is a classic example. So let's say we want to see a 1 carat 1.03 H color VS2. It clearly shows on the screen. It's 529,000. So it's the pricing on our fingertips, and you keep changing the combination, you get those prices. I would suggest, guys, across the world, wherever you are, you can download the Divine Solitaires mobile application now and in fact check the prices. It's all open. It's open for everybody. No password, nothing needed. It's a consumer experience that we are giving. Not only that, you can check historical prices. Yes, we are the first, again, we are the pioneers in giving historical prices to the consumers. So you can quickly check. So in this case, you can see that just a year back, the same combination was, was higher. The price was higher, so it has gone down within 1 year. But within 5 year span, it has gone up by 18%, and that's really true. Now, many people may wonder why within 1 year the price has gone down by just 2.5%, while we all feel that the prices have gone down much more. But ladies and gentlemen, the thing is we need to factor the exchange rate. So when we factor the exchange rate of each country, this is what you get. Now, the consumers in each country, they don't see the US dollar. They don't see, I mean, in India, people would not check the value of their home or the value of their gold jewelry or the value of their anything in dollars. They will check it in the local currency, which is rupees. So would people do in UK. They would check in pounds, and that's what they are interested in. So really, consumers really want to know these prices. They don't want to know the dollar prices. And we keep thinking about the dollar price, which may have gone down. I agree, much more down than what the rupee prices is. But a lot of times, the local currency has a different role to play, and ultimately there is a different effect on the local currency. So that's the effect. We have enhanced the consumer experience completely. So, that's very interesting. So we have got the product details with the pricing. So this is the experience when you type a UID number of the diamond, which is inscribed on the girdle of each and every Divine Solitaires. There is a unique number. The moment you write that number, you go on our website or on our mobile application, you will get the same experience. It will tell you everything about that diamond, about that particular diamond. So the first thing first is the general information. It will tell you about the quality of that diamond. It will tell you about the hearts and arrows and various other experiences like light performance, inscription, and so many other things are there. Even the image of the diamond, the 360-degree image of the diamond, you can actually turn it around with your finger. It's a very interesting experience, very nice for the consumers. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is extremely interesting. We are the first in the world to give a complete experience to the consumers in terms of even provenance. So we tell the customers where the diamond has been mined from, what was the rough diamond looking like, the whole lot of things, and what was it even weighing, that particular diamond. So it's this 2-carat-46 diamond in rough, which has resulted into an 80 pointer in polish, which is what the consumer is about to buy or has bought. But he or she knows everything about that diamond, and that gives him a different level of comfort and experience. And this is what we need to give to the consumers to make sure they still buy diamonds, and they in fact buy even more diamonds, because consumers today, they're not asking for just prices. They're asking for a whole lot of everything: integrity, honesty, everything, quality, everything. So on one experience, you get quality, you get pricing, and you get the journey of your diamond. Everything put in one experience. So we believe that a diamond should have a way to get liquidable for the consumers. We all know that every part of the world, there is a mechanism because consumers want at times to sell the diamonds back. So there are pawn shops, there are everything across the world to liquidate the diamonds. So in India, we are giving a buyback offer and an upgrade offer. And so we are giving it to the other parts of the world. It may differ, but when a customer comes for a buyback, for an upgrade, he gets 100%. For a buyback, he gets 90% of the prevailing price, current prices. So if the prices have gone up, they get the advantage of the appreciation. Guys, we have created a proprietary index, which is called Solitaire Price Index. I can see that I'm really off on the time, and I'll try and see if I can take you through quickly. So this is a very interesting index that we have created, which summarizes all the prices and puts it into one number. And this is clearly a Divine Solitaires index. This is not a representation of the market. We are clearly, we are not claiming any kind of representation. And the other thing I must tell you is that this is country specific. So the index, the movement of the index that may happen in India could be very different to US or UK or Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, this index gets published in all major newspapers, especially in India, and that's the benchmark for diamond pricing within India, especially. I wanted to take you through a very interesting video that we have created. It's just a 1-minute video, and you will see what I'm telling you.
Divine Solitaires presents India's first and only nationwide standard and transparent price list for diamonds, which is published on the 1st of every month. A completely transparent way to know the standard prices of diamonds from Divine Solitaires. Tracking trends in diamond prices with a Solitaire Price Index that helps you unlock value of your assets. Know the current price of your diamond anytime, anywhere, on the web or mobile, and get the right value with the advantage of price appreciation when you upgrade or buy back. And with the free insurance, your prized diamond stays covered. Standard, fair, and transparent. Divine Solitaires. Divine Solitaires presents.
Right. So, want to take you through the next question, next slide. So, here's very, very interesting thing, and this is a data that probably, the way we have generated, it's very, very difficult for many others to really, come up with. So here's comparison of especially three products: diamond, gold, and stock market. In each of these 4 countries, India, China, US, and UK, and these are all in local currencies. Please make a note, they are all in local currencies. So the interesting thing is, so 100, in case of India, we have to look at it as 100 rupees of diamond is now 196. And that's from a period of 2010 to 2020. So in 10 years, diamond prices have literally doubled in rupees terms, in local currency terms in India. And so has gold. So it's quite parallel to gold, but many people are not aware of that. And the consumers lose the confidence because they are not aware of that. If we give this confidence to the consumer, it's a very, very different situation. You will see that similar trend in China, but the increase is much lesser. America, the stock exchange has done much better phenomenally, and UK is a similar trend as well. So this data is quite interesting. So as Divine Solitaires, we are available at 170 stores in India, across 5 countries, 88 cities, and these are the other countries we are available at. This is how Divine Solitaires is present at the store. This is the in-store. This is how our launch looks like. This is the final packaging and the certificate that goes with the packaging to the customer. So that's my last slide, and I want to really conclude by some very, very important point. So the biggest challenge, guys, the biggest challenge, in fact, it's an opportunity rather, for our industry, is to enhance the experience and build consumer confidence. I think this is the key word, the key thing. If we are able to do that, I think our industries, most of the issues are getting resolved. We don't have to really worry too much about what the next guy is selling or doing. Let's build our individual experiences and properties. Let's build our USPs, which could be really different to the next door guy. It could be a manufacturing business, it could be a retail business, it could be a product brand, it could be a consumer brand. My only simple point would be that let's build a differentiated consumer experience. And guys, it's us who has to do that. Each and every individual player will have to come up with their own ideas and strategies to accomplish that. We cannot expect the associations, we cannot expect the bourses, the media, or anybody else for that matter, the mining associations or the local association or government or anybody else, we cannot expect them to solve our problems. It has not happened in any industry. It will not happen in our industry as well. We have to build our own experience. If a car company thinks that it's the association of cars which has to woo the customers, which has to attract the customers, the car company is totally getting it wrong. It's the individual car company or the company that produces shoes, whether it's Nike shoes or it's Audi cars or it's any kind of liquor or any kind of chocolates. It's the individual brands and individual companies that have to create their own experiences. We many times as an industry, we many times depend on the associations and the government and everybody else to solve our problems. Nobody else is going to solve our problems. We'll have to solve it ourselves. Thank you very much, guys. And that's the ending note. I can see a lot of questions actually. I'm sorry that I was so focusing so much on the presentation that I could not really look at the questions. I will quickly look at them. So there is one question somebody has asked saying that when are you getting the solitaire index traded in stock exchanges? So the answer is that as of now, we don't intend to. Let us again read the disclaimer that the solitaire price index is a proprietary is a property of Divine Solitaires, and we don't claim any representation of the market. It's our own prices. It's our product, our prices. This is the quality of the product we want to sell, and this is the price we want to sell at. Based on these selling prices, we have just created a sort of one value, like a aggregate, like a summary, exactly something similar to what happens in stock exchanges, the index that you see. So that is all we have created. But again, I'm repeating that these are based on the consumer selling prices and only for Divine Solitaire products. We don't intend to list our index on any kind of exchanges or bourses as of now. We don't really want to do that. We want to focus on our brand building, on our consumers and our consumer experience. We are not in the business of representing any industry or any market or any companies. Right. I don't know how to increase my screen. Anyways. Right, so I will just quickly take to another question. So somebody has asked me, how do you check the 123 parameters? Very, very interesting question. Thank you very much for asking that question. So we have our own laboratory setup, and we have our own graders, we have our own technology, we have our own instruments. It's a full-fledged laboratory that we have here in Mumbai, and anybody is welcome to come over, have a cup of coffee. We'll take you through. It's a very, very interesting and sophisticated unit that we have developed. The reason is that we don't want to go wrong in giving the promise to our customer for the quality of the diamond. So, so the 123 parameter is all available. By the way, in fact, if by any chance, as one of you happens to buy a Divine Solitaire, and if you put that unique number, then you will actually see all the 123 parameters by default. You don't need to ask anybody or call anybody. You see the entire 123 parameter certificate by default. Another quick question that I came here with is the provenance. So yes, sir. Madam, yes, you can. So so we don't call ourselves as literally a technical blockchain thing, because we are more about consumer experience. So while we have all the information of where the diamond has been mined from and what was the rough diamond, even the image and the weight, It's all trackable whenever you need. Let's say you are a consumer, you have bought a diamond, and you ask us that, I want the tracing of this diamond. We'll be happy to give you out anytime. There are quite a few questions. I'm trying to take one by one. So sorry guys, please. And one of the problem is I can't hear any of you guys. I just have to take up the questions and really take it through. So here, precious plus eternal is asset value. Usually, don't assets increase? So somebody, Vikar Bandari has asked that, don't assets increase? Well, yeah, assets do increase. Again, we are looking back at Rappaport pricing. My simple submission is that, Rappaport pricing is again a very, very trade pricing in US dollars. Assets do increase, but assets increase mainly in the local currency. If you go back and check the price of your own home or any kind of real estate that you may own and compare it in dollars, you will not see the increase in the value of the property as much as you see in the rupees terms, in the local currency terms, because whatever, fortunately, unfortunately, our local currency has depreciated much more than the dollar is. So yeah, dollar wise, you're right, and maybe Rappaport at time to time marks it to the market. Again, you have to realize one thing, that Rappaport is not an instant price list. So you see a change happening in the market and tomorrow you see that on a Rappaport price list. No, it doesn't happen. There are times when for months and months and months, the discounts keep varying and varying and varying. I have seen times when the discounts have gone up to as little as 15 back and have increased up to, in fact, even 35 back, and the Rappaport price list still remains the same. They have a mechanism of working it out, and they are right in their own individual way because they are only giving a indicative pricing. So I would not compare it all with Rappaport prices. Is the Divine Solitaires also issuing price list? Also, these prices are available on the diamond fairs globally. Yeah, I've already explained that. Again, it's a consumer pricing, and consumers across the world can have access to Divine Solitaires prices. Even you guys can. Everything is open. Why is there so much different and confusion pricing, especially in jewelry, to a consumer point of view? Well, that's the problem. So that's what I'm trying to say, that there is so much of confusion, and that's because of so many quality. See, diamond is not a simple product like gold. Gold is measured on only one quality, and that is whether it's 18 karat or a 24 karat or a 22 karat, and that's it. Even a small kid can actually check the price of the gold once he knows what's the quality. Whereas gold has only one parameter, diamonds have 123 parameters. So you can understand, and the combination of each of these parameters. So the only way to give the confidence to the consumer is to position it, not to go deep into the characteristics of each diamond. It's very difficult. I've been asked what is the meaning of solitaire price index. I think there was a reasonable level of clarity I gave. It's the summary, it's the aggregate, and it's very country specific. Again, a disclaimer that it's clearly a Divine Solitaires solitaire price index. We don't claim to be representing the industry or the market, but yes, this is the price we sell our diamonds across the world. And this is the price we are ready to take it back. I don't think there can be a more scientific way of actually pricing diamonds, because there is no discount, there is no off or in or percentage or calculation or exchange rate, nothing. It's this price, whether it's 10,000 US dollar or it's 8,000 pounds or it's 5 lakh rupees or 50,000 yuan, whatever it is, it's this price. The same price is applied to sell the diamond in that market every day across the country, and the same price is applied when it comes to returning a diamond. There's obviously a buyback charges, which is different from country to country, but the same price list is applicable. So if the prices goes up from 100 to 200, the return value that the customer will get will be based on 200 and not on 100. So maybe there's a buyback charge of 10%, then the customer gets 180 rupees, while in case of rupees, in case of pounds, whatever the pounds comes to, or dollar or yuan, whatever it comes to. But the thing is, in his local currency, he gets that much more value. How global demands and supplies are counted? Is there any price meter sort of thing? Now, ultimately, I think we need to stimulate the demand, and that's really important. Just to give you guys an especially I know clearly the facts and figures in India. I can give you a judgment on the world, but in India, 85% of Indians have actually bought a piece of gold, and less than 2.5% people of India has bought diamonds. That's a huge gap. It's something that we should all think about. There is so many more consumers out there, and we need to even 3% consumers or 2% consumers is just doubling up the consumption of diamonds in countries like India or China. And I'm sure that even in countries like America and Europe, the consumption of diamonds is still not so much more. Overall, in the whole world, there could not be even totally 5% of the people who have bought diamonds. There could be many more people who have bought cars and gold and everything else, but not diamonds. So guys, we have a lot of headroom. So if we do it right, I think this industry is great. It's the best industry to be in. What's the average growth of solitaires and of investment if when you are getting some solitaire invested in stock exchange like UK, I would like to know the retail price inclusive. Yes, the retail price is inclusive of all taxes. Thanks, Paresh. Everywhere the retail price is included. In UK, the retail price is including of all taxes. The price list is only for Divine Solitaires. Yes, it is applicable to other diamonds. No, it is not. Can you share the list of parameters? So there's somebody who has asked on what base the Divine Solitaire price is decided. Who decides it? So it's a very interesting question, and thank you for asking that. So we have a mechanism, and there are multiple steps that we follow to finally come up with our price. Finally, at the end of the day, let me be very clear that it's our price and it's our clear the price that we are asking from the consumer. Let me be very honest. I am clear about it that I'm not even wanting to say that it is exactly dependent on what somebody is selling in the diamond bourse or anything like that. But all these factors are taken into account before we publish the price list, and it's a very deep exercise. So we keep a check on the rough diamond prices since the last few months. We keep a check on the retail prices across various parts of the country and the world. Which retailers are selling at what prices. We keep a check on all the online, B2B and B2C portals. We keep a check on what the exchange rates are, what the future trends are, what the inventory levels are. We know exactly how much inventory capable of being Divine Solitaires is available in the world against how much total inventory is available in the world. And there are times when the good quality diamonds are not available, whereas the shitty quality diamonds are hugely available in quantity. The prices are not the same. And that's where some diamond is 5,000 pounds and dollars and some diamond is 8,000 pounds. Same quality, same specifications, different quality, same specifications. So the point is we check all that. We know that how much good quality diamonds are available. So all of that put together, we finally built our own price list. And that's the price at which we want to sell. And that's the same price based on which we are ready to take back any previously sold diamonds. My judgment is that this has more meaningful pricing to diamonds than anything else. Any kind of referential prices or indicative prices may not hold as much strength as, when you are ready to sell, when you are actually selling, and when you are ready to take it back. As the Rappaport prices are dropped, where do you see the solitaire market after lockdown? I completely feel that there will be a knee-jerk reaction, Mr. Lakshay. There will be a knee-jerk reaction, and the prices immediately may fall down. There will be a liquidity issue. There will be some sort of a, but it will be a temporary. In my understanding, it has to be a temporary issue. We don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know, unfortunately, how long will this virus issue last? Will there be a another round of such a virus and another round of lockdowns across the world? I don't have any answers to that. If it does, if the scientists are not able to find the medicines, and if the virus continues, then trust me, the prices would go dramatically down because people need liquidity. That's the only reason. Not because there is lack of demand, but there is just oversupply. And because people are not able to sell their diamonds to the consumers and they need money, there will be some sort of a knee-jerk. But my understanding is the moment things open up, it should not last too long, because there is a very clear data that indicates that the rough diamond supplies have been completely very low since past few months. Even after it opens up, I don't think people will be interested or ready or willing or in the position to buy a lot of rough diamonds immediately, because the factories are not working. There is still social distancing, workers issues. There are so many further issues. So maybe another quarter or so, I don't see the supply, getting in full strength. And if that is really the truth, and hopefully if there is a reasonable level of demand coming back, I'm not even saying 100%, even if it is 40%, 50%, 60%, I don't think the supply is enough to back even that level of demand for a very long period. I'm talking about 3 months to 6 months period. I'm not talking about immediate effect after the lockdown. Immediate effect after the lockdown, that's my personal feeling. There is a chance that it may go down. Somebody has asked me, is investment in diamond better than gold? Very, very interesting question. I don't know who's the. Are you a consumer? Are you a retailer? But quite frankly, as a consumer, I would just reverse ask you a question. What would you use more? Would you, let's say if you had to invest, I don't know how much you are really looking for, but let's say you wanted to invest 500,000 rupees or a million rupees, and let's say you wanted to buy gold, and you can't walk on the street with so much of gold. But I can assure you, with solitaire diamond, it's a class apart. And so you already use the product, you enjoy the product. It's a statement that you tell to your friends and family and everybody around you in a very subtle way. And it's a store of value, because you have seen it yourself that diamonds and gold are not too far away when we talk about the appreciation value in real terms. When we if we build a transparent system. So I think most of the times people buy gold and put it in their lockers, whereas most of the times people buy diamonds and really use them.
How many percent of customers is said to go for buyback?
Somebody asked me how many people have gone for buyback or wanting to go for buyback. See, that's an interesting thing again. Honestly, diamonds is something, why would people, it's a very emotional thing. It's very, very difficult for somebody to I would not want my wife to sell our engagement ring, for example. It's very, very, that's the last thing we would like to sell. But yeah, there are other beyond engagement rings, that could be other diamonds as well. You may want to even sell, you may even want to sell your engagement ring. That's right. But frankly, the buyback is very minimal. To give you exact proportions or percentages, in India, we are finding less than 2% cases who really want to come back and do a buyback. Rather, we are finding more than 20% people who want to upgrade. So that's an interesting thing. You have as a consumer, you have a 30-pointer, whatever the value is, and you want to, after 2 years, you have more money, and you want to build up to a bigger diamond. You need the upgrade facility, which Divine Solitaires provides very transparently and very smooth and easy. So you keep building the size of your diamond. That way, a lot of people want to sell, exchange their old diamond and buy a bigger diamond. That happens a lot. How do we know the cost price that we are going to be charged? So for the jewelry retailers, somebody has asked what is the price rate for jewelry retailers. So the jewelry retailers have got their margins built into the pricing system. We will connect you with our marketing team, and they will explain you the complete mechanism of how it works. But it's a similar model to what the car industry is, or what the watch industry is. So the distributor or the retailer's margin is already built into it, so that it becomes very easy for the retailers as well as the consumers to understand the pricing. I think there are a few more, and I don't know if we really have the time. It's quite late, on the front.
Why so much different confusing pricing, especially in jewelry, and small diamonds for the consumer?
I'm getting a few messages from the organizers that it should be. So I'll take the last question. The last whatever couple of questions that I can still take. What will be your strategy post-COVID to sell diamonds? Yeah, we're very clear and simple. We will always we are there at so many shops, and we are already connected to the consumers on our digital platforms, and we are seeing a lot of interest from the consumer side. In fact, we have started a very interesting scheme where we are taking only 10% for booking the diamond, and we are locking the price. So whenever the consumer wants to come back after the markets open, they have to pay the remaining 90% and buy the diamond at the booked price. So even if the price goes up, and in case the price goes down, they will get the advantage of the lower price. So it's the price protection that we are giving to our customers, and I think there's already a huge requirement. People are looking for it. They are keen to understand. And we are continuously in the market with the consumers, talking about different occasions. I will take this as the last question. Difference between market and Divine Solitaire prices. So to give you a quick understanding, so our prices are consumer prices, retail prices. And if you compare the retail prices of other players, we are below some of the prominent national chains, and we are substantially below that. Our consumer price is substantially below that, and it's very much open. So honestly speaking, our prices are all out there. More than me, you can check our prices. How much are they? Cheaper, expensive? How are they compared with the rest of the market? If you ask me today, what is the price of a favorite jeweler or a favorite chain store, you and me would not know that sitting in our living room today. We will have to go to the shop and ask for it. In case of Divine Solitaires, you can actually check the prices right now on your fingertips. You can just find out. So thank you, guys. I will end my webinar here. It was wonderful, everybody, to see you guys. We will post our you will get all of our information. Where can you connect in case you want to connect with us? I will just tell you, it's You can always reach us out on our phone number. It's in Mumbai. It's 022-6626-4880. You can talk with our marketing team or our technical team anywhere, whatever you want to look at it, and we will always be happy to serve you out. So thank you, everybody, and wish you all the best. Keep well, keep safe. Please take care of yourself, and let's all hope that we get out of this unprecedented situation very quickly and very strongly, very smoothly. Once we are over it, we are even more powerful. Thank you, everybody.
Your diamonds have resale value outside Divine Solitaires. What is it?